Can you actually lose weight eating Big Macs? I don't quite know why you'd want to do it. Disgusting for me personally, but yeah, you probably could. If you subscribe to the calories in, calories out, it doesn't matter what you eat as long as you're in a calorie deficit, then sure, you could probably eat 1 or 2 Big Macs a day and still drop weight. I mean, you could eat Snicker bars and drop weight if you eat just, few number of them, but why would you want to? And the chemicals and the processing of the Big Mac or these, Snicker bars and these junk foods aren't going to support your metabolism to work as effectively and efficiently as it can, the way nature intended it to. So today I'm breaking down exactly what's in a Big Mac, how it impacts your health and your metabolism, and whether it's truly a viable option for weight loss. Let's get into it. I'm Dr. Ashley. I'm a PhD nutritionist, a registered dietitian. I'm the founder and owner of PhD Weight Loss, where we have helped over 10,000 people collectively drop more than 366,000 pounds nationwide. And my mission is to help you get the science-backed information you need to actually drop the weight and keep it off for good. So let's dive into if you can drop weight eating Big Macs. The Big Mac is one of the most iconic fast food items in the world, but does it really have a place in a weight loss plan? Today, we're going to dive in and take a closer look at what's really in the Big Mac and what it means for your weight loss journey. I have the ingredients of the Big Mac written down here to help me guide you along in this journey. So the first is the bun. The bun contains sugar, emulsifiers, multiple starches, which is fine, but when we get too many carbohydrates in like a starchy fashion, it can spike our blood glucose and our insulin levels and make us hungry, make us have more cravings throughout the day. So in general, the bun is not great. I'd say it's actually the worst part of the Big Mac, and it really contributes to inflammation. It can make your body much more difficult time dropping the weight. The sauce of the Big Mac, I know, oh my gosh, a lot of people love this. This is what makes it so iconic, but it is filled with glucose and fructose. It has thickeners in it, firming agents. I would just say the sugars, the artificial thickeners are just going to disrupt your body's ability to burn fat efficiently. So if I were to say the number one thing to avoid of the Big Mac, it would be the bun. And the second thing would be this gosh darn sauce. Okay, next I'm going to tell you about the cheese, and you're not going to believe what I have to tell you about it. But before I do, I don't want you to feel like I'm taking away all of your food joy. I really believe, and I do this for all of our clients at PhD Weight Loss, that there's always a healthy substitute and something that's going to be just as tasty. So if you need that support and you want that help as you go through and you make these changes in your dietary approach and your nutrition, just click the link in the description to learn more about PhD Weight Loss, and we'll help you do all of that so you still get to enjoy the delicious food that you love. Okay, so back to the cheese of the Big Mac. It is ultra processed. It contains emulsifying salts, but more importantly, natural cheese flavoring. So we actually don't know where the flavoring of the cheese comes from. A really important takeaway from this is if you don't understand where your food is coming from and they can't even give you the true ingredients or source of it, you don't want to be consuming it. If you don't understand, if you don't know what's in the food, you don't want to put it in your body. Your body's not going to know what to do with it. So in general, these ultra processed cheese ingredients are designed to mimic real cheese, but they don't provide the same nutrients and they can actually increase cravings. Do you guys remember that documentary Super Size Me, where Morgan Spurlock went 30 days just consuming McDonald's, and by the end of the time period, he was totally addicted to the food? That's what's happening here, you guys, for you. And with these foods and these additives and these chemicals, it's hyper palatable and your body is just going to crave more. So as for the meat, it's actually the best part about the Big Mac. It is 100% beef. I personally don't go to McDonald's or any fast food joint just because I really don't eat things that I don't know where it comes from and what's in the ingredients. And when it comes to meat, I think like if you're in a huge bind and you need to do that, fine to do. But for me personally, when I eat meat, I would like it to know where it's sourced. And I know that that is really picky, and not all of us get to be that picky or want to be. But if the meat is coming from just, grain-fed, not treated well farms, it's something that I don't particularly like to consume. Now let's do the nutrition breakdown, and I'll give you my final analysis. All right, so in general, in the Big Mac, you're gonna be consuming about 500 calories. And again, while this could fit into a calorie budget, and depending on your size and how much muscle you've got, you could consume 1 or 2 and drop weight. Do you really wanna do it this way? It's got about 24 grams of fat, and I'm actually not concerned about the fat. Most people would look at this and say, oh my gosh, it's got high saturated fat, it's gonna contribute to heart disease. I don't believe in that. We know that if we consume healthy fats, even saturated fat, with a lower carbohydrate diet, low sugar, low processed diet, it actually doesn't cause heart disease. So it really does depend on what are you consuming with this saturated fat. So with a Big Mac and fries and a soda, yeah, I wouldn't consume this amount of saturated fat. But if you take my suggestions that I'm going to give later on, you can consume some of this and still be in a healthy place. In general, there's about 2.2 grams of salt. This is a lot of salt, and most people, again, would say, oh my gosh, it's too much salt, it makes it unhealthy. If you consume an unprocessed whole food diet, your body actually works more efficiently, and you need the salt. Salt in and of itself is not bad. It's when it's pair matched with this bun and the sauce and the soda and the fries where it can cause negative health implications. Then from a sugar standpoint, there's about 8 grams of sugar in it, which is about 2 teaspoons worth of sugar. But more importantly is the total carbs. There's about 45 grams of carbs. That is too many, you guys. If we look at this from a sugar component, because we know that most carbs are broken down like sugar in the body, there's about 11 teaspoons of sugar in full, metabolically speaking, in a Big Mac. And that is too much. You do not want to be consuming that, even when you are in a calorie deficit. Protein, you guys, there's not enough protein in a Big Mac, really, for anybody. You would think it's called a Big Mac that you're getting adequate protein. 20 grams of protein is about half the amount that you truly want if you're consuming this for a lunch or a dinner, for example. Again, it depends on your body size, but for most of us, 2 patties is 20 grams of protein, not enough. You actually want about 3 to 4 patties to get the adequate amount of protein. So now you're getting too many carbs, too much sugar, and not enough protein in this Big Mac. So can you lose weight eating Big Macs? Well, technically, yes. If we just look at calories in and calories out and create a deficit, you could drop weight eating Big Macs. But why would you want to? Now you know that it's not really food, but if you are in a bind and you are stuck, you also know what to do. You're gonna drop the bun, you're gonna let go of the sauce, maybe on a bed of lettuce, some tomatoes, you can put some pickles or onions on there if you want, and you're gonna increase the number of patties and consider dropping that ultra processed mimic-like cheese item. So I just briefly discussed the chemicals found in a Big Mac, and if you're interested in learning more hidden, likely dangerous food additives, I did an entire episode just on this. So check out this video to learn more.